Hey, what's up guys, it's Renaldo here. So this video is going to focus on something that I never thought I would have covered. Whether or not you are the right race to receive water. Yeah, that's right. In this country, we've got 142 race-based laws. We've got broad-based black economic empowerment. We've got employment equity. We've got affirmative action. All these policies are there to discriminate against people based on the color of their skin. And yet what I'm about to show you is going to completely blow your mind. But before I show you this document, I need to give you some context. So I'm going to refer to explanation by Google's AI, Gemini, as to what exactly this entails. So let's have a look quick. All right, so what am I talking about here? Well, in South Africa, a water use license is a legally required authorization from the Department of Water and Sanitation for certain water-related activities. These activities include taking water from a water resource, storing water, altering water flow, or discharging wastewater. The National Water Act outlines specific water uses that requires a WUL and those that fall under general authorization. So why is a water use license needed? Well, protecting water resources, preventing environmental damage, ensuring equitable use. WULs help ensure that water resources are allocated fairly and equitably among users. Now, with that being said, have a look at the following document, right? So this is from Water and Sanitation, the Department of Water and Sanitation. And this application, let's read through it instead of me explaining it. The above mentioned application has been received and processed by this department and forwarded to me for a decision. The donor is a historically disadvantaged individual, a HDI, who has received water from the water set aside for historically disadvantaged individuals, HDIs. In the river, the receiver is a historically advantaged individual. So just to give you a wrap here, somebody that is historically disadvantaged, so a black individual, wants to give his allocation of water that was set aside for him as a HDI to a white individual. Now, I'm assuming this is because the white individual needs the water to ensure that his farm gets enough water so that he can harvest eventually. So I don't think he wants the water to just let it sit there on the side and look pretty. I think it's an actual case of whether he's willing to buy the water or whether the historically disadvantaged individual, a black person, was kind enough to give this historically advantaged individual, white person, some water. And then the outcome, of course, was made available from the water savings, and it was set aside for historically disadvantaged individuals to enable. I'm assuming it's enable to the department to promote equitable allocation of water. Therefore, the department is not in support of the issuance of the authorization, as the departmental objectives of transformation will not be met by the issuance of the license. Section 27(1)(b) was not accepted, as the departmental objectives of transformation will not be met. And then it says you can appeal over here. So ladies and gentlemen, in 2025, a farmer cannot get access to water or a license to water or a donation for water because he is white. Now, the department will say it's because they can't meet their targets, but the question is what's the targets? The targets is, okay, you need to give this much water to historically disadvantaged individuals, right? Now, you can clearly see this historically disadvantaged individual, a black person, is willing to give the water because he's got more than enough. So he honestly does not need the water, or he does not need the license because he's got adequate water. And he's willing to give it away to a historically advantaged individual, white person. And the department says no, because they won't meet their targets. And the targets are pretty much give as little water as you can to white farmers and give as much water as you can to black farmers. That is in essence what this is. I mean, equitable share of water and the issuing of water licenses. So the government is so obsessed with the race of individuals that they are willing to potentially bankrupt farmers based on their race. So if you have a massive farm and you need to get more water than what the government has decided you need, which let's not even get into that aspect, because who knows better of what the land needs, a farmer or the government? The government can't even run a tuck shop. I wouldn't trust them to run a farm. But with that being said, here we have a clear-cut case of racial discrimination on water allocation. So, if you think that this is, it's just like basic issues, like, we need to give more jobs to black individuals. Or we need to ensure that so many businesses have black representation in their, management structure. No, it even goes all the way down to whether or not you can get more water or whether or not you can get a water license because of the color of your skin. So, of course, the farmers are there to turn a profit. Let's not play stupid here. I mean, farmers don't just sit there and make, food available for South Africa and no benefit to themselves. Of course they do that. But they are still one of the most crucial roles in South Africa because they do feed the nation. And our government is now playing a very stupid game by deciding who can get how much water based on the color of their skin. So let's say that this white farmer, for argument's sake, I don't know who he is, but let's say this farmer provides a large chunk of food that South Africans eat. Now, because of the government interfering and because of the government discriminating against this farmer based on his race, let's say that half of his crop doesn't lead to harvesting. And now there's a shortage. And now the price goes up in that area, or even if it's a big, massive farm across South Africa. But, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But once again, it's just like, it's almost like the ANC has not learned a single thing from the apartheid government. And instead of wanting to fix the country, they are doubling down on revenge. They don't want to fix things and improve things. No, they want to dish out revenge and make people suffer, which indirectly will cause the poorest of the poor to suffer. Now, this one example might not actually lead to, let's say, prices going up. But just think about this. If this is but one example of hundreds, maybe thousands, then that has a massive impact on the prices of whatever the farmers aren't allowed to receive water for. So this is a massive issue. And I do know that AfriForum is taking this on. I will post a link in the description below where you can go and see what AfriForum is doing to fight this, and well done to AfriForum. But it's just so absurd that, in this country where everybody is just trying to play their role and ensuring that the country survives, we've got the ANC government that is now discriminating against people based on race for how much water they can receive in order to provide water for their plants or whatever, for their animals on farms. It is absolutely absurd, and this is how race obsessed South Africa has become. I mean, no lessons were learned from apartheid, it seems. It's just like, no, okay, we didn't like the race-based policies when it was against us. And then we fooled the international community to say, we just want equality and we want to live in this rainbow nation. And now, in 2025, there's 142 race-based laws. They've got broad-based black economic empowerment that initially is that if you want to do business with the government, you need to provide a certificate to show that at least 30% of your top management is black. Now they want to adjust that too and ensure that eventually, irrespective of whether you do business with the government or not, you might have to have some black people in management positions if you want to register your business. Like, get the documentations for your business, your PTY Limited. I mean, it's just counterproductive in every single way. Here's a black farmer that does not need the water, that's willing to either give the license or the water allocation to a white farmer that clearly needs it, because why else would the agreement be there between the two? And then you've got the Department of Water and Sanitation that says, no, you're not allowed to do that. We're not going to meet our quotas. So sorry, Jan or Piet or Dirk or whatever the white farmer's name is. And it's just like, sorry, we don't care if you're not going to be able to, let's say, harvest 100% of your crop. You must now make do with 50%, even though it's going to affect us and as a country and the people that buy these things, because now everything's going to be more expensive. It's just absurd. It's insane. It's just absolutely absurd that you are being discriminated against on how much water you can get. I mean, can it get any more petty than that? Anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say. Please be sure to smash the like button. Please be sure to subscribe. Please be sure to share this video far and wide. That includes on WhatsApp, Facebook, X, whatever social media platform you use. And then lastly, if you would like to support me or this channel, you can do so by becoming a member. You can do so by clicking the join button below. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Till later, cheers and peace out.
You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I went my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I went my massacre. My massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I went my massacre. My